Viably unemployable.
Now the rules. In each round, the aim is to answer enough questions correctly to reach your $125,000 target within the time limit. There are 8 of you, so the fastest way to reach that target is to create a chain of 8 correct answers. Get your question wrong, and you break the chain and lose all the money in that chain. But if you say the word bank before your question is asked, the money is safe. However, you'll start a brand new chain. Remember, at the end of the round, only money that has been banked can be carried over to the next round. The first round lasts for 2.5 minutes. The order you're playing in was randomly selected before the show. We'll start with the player in the first position. That's you, Kim. Let's play the weakest link. The first question is for $1,000. Start the clock. Kim, in television, what was the nickname of the character played by Scott Baio on the sitcom Happy Days?
Chachi.
Correct. Tansy, according to legend, what saint drove the snakes of Ireland into the sea?
Can you repeat that, please?
According to legend, what saint drove the snakes of Ireland into the sea?
St. Peter.
No, St. Patrick. Chuck. The Jim Henson-created mascot, Bad Andy, was recently dropped from the TV ads of which pizza chain?
Domino's.
Correct. Cheryl. US presidential elections take place on the first Tuesday after the first Monday of which month?
November.
Correct. Kevin. Who was the first woman to fly an airplane solo across the Atlantic Ocean?
Amelia Earhart.
Correct. Jill.
Bank.
What is the name of the oldest university in the United States?
Harvard.
Correct. Jamie. In music, which Canadian singer wrote the songs Woodstock and Big Yellow Taxi?
Don't know.
Joni Mitchell. George. In history, who was convicted for the assassination of Robert F. Kennedy?
Oswald.
No, Sirhan. Kim.
Bank.
How many rings are featured on the official Olympic flag?
5.
Correct. Tansy. In movies, Kevin Spacey won the 1999 Best Actor Academy Award for his role in which film?
Don't know.
American Beauty. Chuck. In industry, which country produces more of the world's wine? France or the United States?
United States.
No, France. Cheryl. In theatre, which British composer scored both Jesus Christ Superstar and Cats?
Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Correct. Kevin. In sports, which former Cincinnati Reds manager was banned from baseball for gambling?
Pete Rose.
Correct. Jill. In Morse code, how many dots does it take to send the letter S?
2.
3. Jamie. Born in 1895, which US architect developed the 4D house and popularized the geodesic dome?
Frank Lloyd Wright.
No, Buckminster Fuller. George. Which is the state bird of Florida, the mockingbird or the flamingo?
Flamingo.
Nope, mockingbird. Kim. In 1848, 6 New York newspapers agreed to pool together, forming what worldwide news service?
Don't know.
Associated Press. Tansy. Time is up. Now, out of a possible $125,000, you banked a pathetic $5,000. That money will go to the next round, but quite deservedly, one of you will not. Who is already trying your patience? Who, alas, is not burdened with intelligence? One of you is about to leave with nothing. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
The team will have to rely on their memory and instinct as they make this decision, but statistically, Kevin is the strongest link in this round. Tansy is the weakest link because she got both of her questions wrong and lost money for the team. But at this early stage of the game, will the other players have noticed?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Tansy.
George.
George.
Jamie.
Tansy.
Tansy.
George.
Chuck.
Right, team, we have a tie. Tansy and George, 3 votes each. Let me tell you first, though, about your performance as a team. You managed to answer more questions incorrectly than those you answered correctly. So it would be fair to say at this stage, I am not dying with admiration at your performance. Jill,
Yes,
why have you chosen Tansy?
because Tansy seems extremely uncomfortable up here.
And you are comfortable, are you,
Quite.
Jill? We'll see about that. Chuck, how's it going for you?
Great.
You think answering one question correctly is great?
I feel confident
Why have you voted for George?
because he didn't bank any money and he got questions wrong.
Well, when the vote is tied, the strongest link has to cast the deciding vote. Kevin, you were the strongest link in the last round. You have chosen Tansy, but you can change your mind. So, who would you rather get rid of? Tansy or George?
I think I might go out on a limb and change my vote.
Why is that, Kevin?
Because I've decided that not banking money is what is costing us as a team the most right now, and George had some opportunities and didn't take advantage of them.
Well, this is a moment of relief for Tansy, who's the actress who's never heard of the Academy Awards. Not only that, statistically, she was the worst player in the last round. George, without hesitation, I can say, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
The reason Kevin changed his vote is I'm sure that he knows that in the upcoming rounds I would be the strongest link. And he eliminated me over Tansy because he knows that he could press her out later and he knows that I'd be the competition. If there's a member of the team that should be here, it's definitely Tansy. Again, she cost us time, she cost us money, she banked nothing.
Round 2, team. You banked a pathetic $5,000 when you could have banked $125,000. There are 7 of you left. 10 seconds is coming off the clock. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Kevin. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Kevin, in mythology, which Greek warrior was slain by Paris after being wounded in his vulnerable heel?
Achilles.
Correct, Jill. Which inventor was known as the Wizard of Menlo Park?
Edison.
Correct, Jamie.
Bank.
Puerto Rican pop sensation Enrique Jose Martin Morelos IV performs under what name?
Ricky Martin.
Correct. Kim,
Bank.
on television, which brand of cognac does Saturday Night Live's The Ladies' Man always have on hand?
Courvoisier.
Correct. Tansy, which media mogul married designer Diane von Furstenberg in 2001?
Ted.
No, Barry Diller. Chuck. In the Dr. Seuss story, Horton hears a who. Which kind of animal is Horton?
A who?
Elephant. Cheryl. In language, which 3-word Latin phrase translates to I came, I saw, I conquered?
In veritas.
Veni, vidi, vici. Kevin. Pregnant, hanging, and swinging are terms describing which portion of a ballot that has not been completely removed?
Chad.
Correct, Jill.
Bank.
Which pacifist received the Nobel Peace Prize for helping to end China's domination of Tibet?
Mohandas Gandhi.
No, Dalai Lama. Jamie. Which eccentric comedian did Jim Carrey portray in the movie Man on the Moon?
Andy.
No, I need a full name.
Can you repeat the question?
Andy Kaufman. Kim. Which famous philosopher was Dutch, Kant or Spinoza?
Kant.
Spinoza. Tansy. In geography, which is the world's tallest waterfall?
Niagara Falls.
Angel Falls. Chuck. What was the maiden name of the late Diana, Princess of Wales?
I don't know.
Spencer. Cheryl. In art, what S is the movement most associated with painter Salvador Dali?
Surrealism.
Correct. Kevin.
Bank.
In chemistry, which element from the periodic table combines with oxygen to form water?
Hydrogen.
Correct. Time is up. And out of a possible $125,000, you banked just $5,500. That money will go through to the next round, but one of you will not. One of you is about to leave with nothing. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
Kevin is the strongest link in this round, the only player to answer all his questions correctly. Tansy is the weakest link statistically for the second round in a row. She did not answer a single question correctly and once again lost the most money for the team. Can she survive another vote?
Voting over. It's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Cheryl.
Chuck.
Tansy.
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 Cheryl.
Chuck. Not a single question answered correctly in that round. Is there any beginning to your knowledge? Jill, the attorney. Human rights, not something you have knowledge of?
Criminal law is what I do.
So we must be understanding about you not knowing the difference between Gandhi and the Dalai Lama. Why Tansy?
Because I think Tansy is frightened by you, and we can't have anyone on the team who's frightened by you.
Tansy, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Somebody I'd like to see voted off the show is Jill, because I think she's got a really bad attitude, and I really realized after the show started that she had it out for me.
Round 3, team. You have banked so far $10,500 out of a possible $250,000. Perhaps you need reminding of the rules. The fastest way to reach that target of $125,000 in each round is to create a chain of 8 correct answers. Get your question wrong, and you break the chain and lose all the money in that chain. But if you say the word bank before your question is asked, the money is safe. However, you start a new chain. Remember, only the money banked will be carried over to the next round. So there are 6 of you left. Another 10 seconds off the clock. We start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Kevin. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Kevin, in computer terms, what does the acronym DOS stand for?
Disk Operating System.
Correct. Jill, which short-lived dance craze inspired the 1990 movie The Forbidden Dance?
The Charleston.
Lambada. Jamie.
Bank.
In economics, which animal represents a declining stock market?
Bull.
Bear. Kim, in fashion, what F is a red brimless hat named after a city in Morocco?
Fedor.
Fez. Chuck. In television, what is the name of Homer's youngest daughter on The Simpsons?
Lisa.
Maggie. Cheryl. In transportation, YYZ are the code letters for which Canadian city's airport?
Toronto.
Correct. Kevin.
Bank.
In astrology, which sign of the zodiac is also called the water bearer?
Aquarius.
Correct. Jill. In history, which state became the first to ratify the U.S. Constitution?
Connecticut.
Delaware. Jamie. Led by Joe Namath, which was the first AFL team to win pro football's Super Bowl?
New York Jets.
Correct. Kim. Kofi Annan is currently the Secretary General of which international organization?
Don't know.
The United Nations. Chuck. What A is the automaker that manufactures the TT Roadster?
I don't know.
Audi. Cheryl. Located in Nottinghamshire, England, which wooded area was home to Robin Hood and his merry men?
Sherwood Forest.
Correct, Kevin. In music, what is the stage name of Bat Out of Hell singer Marvin Leaday?
Meatloaf.
Correct, Jill.
Bank.
In which month does the Mexican holiday Cinco de Mayo occur?
May.
Correct, Jamie. Which American teacher was chosen to be the first private citizen in space?
Christy McCullough.
Correct. Kim, in math, what is the square root of 121?
27.
11. Chuck, often seen on warning signs, what two words are combined to form the term hazmat?
Hazardous materials.
Correct. Cheryl, in television, the lead character of... Time is up. I cannot complete the question, and that was a spectacular round for you, team. You managed to bank $3,500. That money will crawl its way into the next round, but one of you will not. Whose knowledge is best suited to watching television rather than appearing on it? One of you is about to leave with nothing. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
Statistically, Kim is the weakest link. She is the only player to get all of her questions wrong. Once again, Kevin got the most questions right, making him the strongest link for the third round in a row. But it's the votes that will decide.
Okay, team, voting is over. It's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Jill.
Kim.
Kim.
Chuck.
Kim.
Kim.
Team, it would be fair to say you have been consistent. Chuck, you've had a few jobs in your time.
I have indeed.
Share some of them with us.
Been a financial consultant. Been a car salesman.
But I suppose if you don't know what an Audi is, there wasn't much of a career for you in selling cars. Why did you vote for Kim?
Unfortunately, Kim has gotten most of her answers wrong, and it's cost the rest of the team.
Kim, with 4 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
It's exasperating to be out of the game when I'm right next to Chuck, who's been getting questions wrong all along. He's been getting a lot of questions wrong that I've been getting right, and he's still in the game and I'm not, and that's very disappointing.
Round 4, you've banked so far a disappointing $14,000. You could by now have won $375,000. There are 5 of you left. Another 10 seconds coming off the clock. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. Again, that's Kevin. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Kevin, in science, what W is a unit of power equal to 1 joule per second?
Watt.
Correct, Jill. Which company originally released the party game Twister in 1966?
Hasbro.
Milton Bradley. Jamie. Which Playgirl cover model gained renown as O.J. Simpson's house guest?
Kato Kalin.
Correct. Chuck. If you're having kippers for breakfast, are you eating fish or berries?
Fish.
Correct. Cheryl. In literature, which French physician wrote the book of rhyming prophecies titled Centuries?
Don't know.
Nostradamus. Kevin. According to the title of the Rob Schneider film, what is the profession of Juice Bigelow?
Male gigolo.
Correct. Jill.
Bank.
In advertising, which snack food company's slogan describes its cookies as uncommonly good?
Keebler.
Correct. Jamie. In jewelry, how many carats is pure gold?
24.
Correct. Chuck. Which magazine was founded by John F. Kennedy Jr. in 1995?
George.
Correct. Cheryl. Semper Fidelis, meaning always faithful, is the motto of which branch of the armed forces?
The Marines.
Correct. Kevin.
Bank.
Which 15th century Bible printer is considered to be the inventor of movable type?
Gutenberg.
Correct. Jill.
Bank.
What N is a medical disorder characterized by sudden and uncontrollable attacks of deep sleep?
Narcolepsy.
Correct. Jamie.
Bank.
In mythology, who was the Greek god of the sea? Is that an answer?
Neptune.
Poseidon. Chuck, which Russian artistic director of the American Ballet Theatre starred in the film White Nights?
Baryshnikov.
Correct. Cheryl.
Bank.
Which American town was the site of a trial and hanging of 19 women thought to be witches in 1692?
Salem witch trials.
Correct. Kevin.
Bank.
What English word can describe both a type of fruit pie and one who mends shoes? Answer is cobbler, but we were out of time, and in that round, you did slightly better, team. You banked $15,000 out of a possible $125,000, and that money will go through to the next round. But of course, one of you will not. Who, sadly, is out of their depths? Who has continued to be dazed and confused? It's time to vote off.
For the fourth time in the game, Kevin is the strongest link. Not only did he get all of his questions right, he also banked the most money for the team. Cheryl is statistically the weakest link, but will the team be aware of that?
Okay, team, voting is over. It's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Jamie.
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 Cheryl.
Chuck. Why Jamie?
When you take too long to think about the answers, it costs the team.
Jill. Why did you vote for Jamie as the weakest link?
Because he's getting his answers incorrect.
Did you think he was the weakest link?
Obviously, that's why I voted for him.
Well, that's something else you've got wrong, Jill. Cheryl, statistically, you were the worst player, but it's votes that count. Jamie, with 3 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I think Cheryl should be voted off next because she's the weakest link and she shouldn't get a shot at the cash.
Round 5, you banked $29,000 out of a possible $500,000. 4 of you are left, another 10 seconds coming off the clock. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round again. That's Kevin. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Kevin, in music, T-Boz, Left Eye, and Chili are members of what R&B girl group?
The Fugees?
TLC. Jill. From the Persian for waistband, what is the broad pleated sash worn with a dinner jacket or tuxedo?
Cummerbund.
Correct. Chuck. In movies, which game show was the subject of Robert Redford's Academy Award nominated film Quiz Show?
$64,000 question.
21. Cheryl. In hobbies, what does a philatelist collect?
Rocks.
Stamps. Kevin. Which serial killer, known as the Killer Clown, was executed on May 10, 1994?
Don't know.
John Wayne Gacy. Jill. On the original Star Trek series, which character was played by James Doohan?
Doc.
Scotty. Chuck. According to legend, what was the name of Paul Bunyan's blue ox?
Moose.
Babe. Cheryl. Beautiful and Pleasures are perfumes endorsed by Elizabeth Hurley for which cosmetics company?
Elizabeth Arden.
Estee Lauder. Kevin. In movies, which comic actress headlined the film Superstar as schoolgirl Mary Catherine Gallagher?
I don't know.
Molly Shannon. Jill. Which computer company was founded in 1976 by Stephen Wozniak and Stephen Jobs?
IBM.
Apple Computers. Chuck. Which San Francisco merchant began his clothing line by selling pants made from tent canvas to Californian gold miners?
Levi.
Correct. Time is up. You answered in time, and in that round, your total bank was 0. Who is a huge embarrassment to the American educational system? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
For the first time in the game, Jill is statistically the strongest link. In a reversal of fortune, Kevin, who has been the strongest link all game, is now the weakest link, as he answered all of his questions incorrectly. But will his earlier strong performance save him?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Jill.
Kevin.
Chuck.
Chuck.
Jill. Why Chuck?
Because Chuck didn't bank the one opportunity. He missed a banking opportunity in that round.
He missed a banking opportunity.
Yes.
Kevin, what do you do?
I'm a teacher.
What sort of teacher?
I teach 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Would they agree with me that you obviously don't get out much? You've never heard of TLC? You've never heard of Superstar?
I'm just happy you talked to me today, Anne.
Well, mainly I'm talking to you, Kevin, to tell you that statistically you were the worst player. But it's votes that count. Chuck, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
When I saw my name appear, I thought I was pretty heartbroken. I thought I had a pretty good shot at going all the way. I think Cheryl will be the next to go.
Round 6 so far, you've banked $29,000 out of a possible $625,000. There are 3 of you left, another 10 seconds off the clock. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Jill. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Jill, which North Carolina village was the site of the Wright brothers' first flight of a power-driven aircraft?
Fort Dix.
Kitty Hawk. Cheryl, what nickname was legally added to the full name of boxer Marvin Hagler?
Don't know.
Marvelous. Kevin, which performer has won an Emmy, an Oscar, a Tony, and a Grammy? Frank Sinatra or Helen Hayes?
Helen Hayes.
Correct. Jill, what L was selected as Toy of the Century by Forbes magazine?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that question?
What L was selected as Toy of the Century by Forbes magazine?
Lolita.
Lego. Cheryl, in the Jules Verne classic 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, who is the skipper of the submarine Nautilus?
Don't know.
Captain Nemo. Kevin, which composer and arranger nicknamed Q scored the music for the film The Color Purple?
John Williams.
Quincy Jones. Jill, approximately 30 miles long and home to several million bats, Carlsbad Caverns is located in which state?
Idaho.
New Mexico. Cheryl, is the product known as Canadian Mist Shampoo or whiskey?
Whiskey.
Correct. Kevin, in nature, what P is the Malaysian word for an irrigated field where rice is grown?
Paddy.
Correct. Jill, which tanker spilled over 10 million gallons of crude oil off the coast of Alaska in 1989?
The Nimitz.
Exxon Valdez. Cheryl.
Bank.
Time is up. And in that round, you again banked 0. Now, in round 7, team, you get the chance to double what you bank. That, of course, requires you to bank something. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
Jill is the weakest link statistically, getting all of her questions wrong. And once again, Kevin is the strongest link, answering more questions correctly than any other player. This is the last chance the team has to vote someone off, whose game is over now.
Okay, team, voting is over. It's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Jill.
Jill.
Cheryl.
Kevin, had enough of Jill, have you?
I have to say, her negative energy is just, it's bringing me down.
Jill, you have delighted us for long enough. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I think that Kevin thinks of Cheryl as more of a lightweight intellectually than me, and so he's better off voting me off with her assistance than trying to contend with me in the face-off.
Round 7, you've banked $29,000 so far. By now, you could have won $750,000. Cheryl and Kevin, just the two of you left, and this time you have only 90 seconds. But whatever you bank in this round will be doubled and added to your total to make up your grand prize money. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's you, Kevin. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Kevin, in literature, who wrote the novels From Russia with Love and Goldfinger?
Don't know.
Ian Fleming. Cheryl, during the Great Depression, which president gave a series of informal radio addresses known as fireside chats?
Roosevelt.
Correct. Kevin, in nature, which of the following snakes is venomous? Anaconda or copperhead?
Copperhead.
Correct. Cheryl,
Bank.
in food, the pasta shape called farfalle is literally the Italian word for which insect?
Spider.
Butterfly. Kevin, in television, Christopher Hewitt played the title character in which sitcom about a British housekeeper?
The Nanny.
Mr. Belvedere. Cheryl, which terrorist is on the FBI's 10 most wanted list in connection with the 1998 attacks on US embassies in Africa?
Saddam Hussein.
Osama bin Laden. Kevin, which television star wrote the New York Times best-selling book Leading with My Chin?
Jay Leno.
Correct. Cheryl,
Bank.
popular in 1830s France, which risque dance is known for its high kicks that expose the petticoat?
The Can-Can.
Correct. Kevin,
Bank.
in military history, which Nazi field marshal was known as the Desert Fox?
Nuremberg.
Rommel. Cheryl, in theatre, which playwright wrote Glengarry Glen Ross? Time's up. David Mamet. In that round, between you, you managed to bank $4,500. We will double that amount and add it to the banked money from the other rounds. So, team, out of a possible $1 million, you have a grand total tonight of $38,000. But only one of you can take that money home, so now you will be playing against each other, head to head. I'll ask alternating questions, best of 5. Whoever answers the most questions correctly wins. It's as simple as that. If there's a tie after 5 questions, we'll go for sudden death until we have a winner. So, Cheryl and Kevin, for $38,000, let's play the weakest link. Cheryl, as the strongest link in the last round, you have the choice of who goes first.
I'd like Kevin to go first.
Kevin, in horse racing, Baltimore's Pimlico Racecourse is the home of which Triple Crown event?
Preakness.
That is the correct answer. Cheryl, in history, what was the name of the second man to walk on the moon?
Buzz Aldrin.
That is the correct answer. Kevin, in architecture, Frank Lloyd Wright designed what New York City museum, which opened in 1959?
I'm gonna try the Museum of Natural History.
Nope. The correct answer is the Guggenheim Museum. Cheryl, in meteorology, What instrument is used for measuring atmospheric pressure?
A barometer.
That is the correct answer. Kevin. In geography, how many US states touch the Pacific Ocean?
Five.
That is the correct answer. Cheryl. In cartoons, Yogi Bear and Boo Boo originally inhabited which fictional park?
Jellystone.
That is the correct answer. Kevin, what does the letter B stand for in the automobile company BMW?
Bavarian.
That is the correct answer. Cheryl, in music, which instrument is Yo-Yo Ma famous for playing?
The violin.
No, the correct answer is the cello. At this point, you are level pegging. Kevin, in language, the term fortnight refers to how many consecutive days?
14.
That is the correct answer. Cheryl, you need to answer this question correctly to remain in the game. In medicine, the Rh factor found in red blood cells gets its name from which type of primate?
The rhesus monkey.
That is the correct answer. After 5 questions, your scores are tied. So now we go into a sudden death situation. The questions will continue in pairs. Cheryl, if you get your question correct, then Kevin will have to answer his correctly or he'll lose. And Cheryl, if you'll get your question wrong and Kevin gets his question correct, he will win. So, Cheryl and Kevin, let's play sudden death. Kevin, in literature, Napoleon, Snowball, and Old Major are characters in which George Orwell novel?
Animal Farm.
That is the correct answer. Cheryl, in economics, who is the current chairman of the board of the US Federal Reserve?
I don't know.
The answer is Alan Greenspan. That means, Kevin, you are tonight's strongest link and you go away with $38,000. Cheryl,
Great job.
you leave with nothing.
I think I deserve to win today because I had a very strong early part of the game. I faltered for a little bit and then regained it for the end.
Every time I look at a dollar bill, I'll know that answer now, and I can guarantee you, Alan Greenspan, I will never forget your name.